everybody, and welcome to the Unpredicted Party, the only Middle-earth campaign that will answer the question, why didn't they just take the Eagles to Mordor? And we are one step closer to answering that question. This is episode 4. I am your humble lore master, Don Marshall. Joining me are my internet friends. Say hi, internet friends.
Hi.
Are you all ready to start?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Well, that's too bad because we have some announcements to get through. First and foremost,
All right.
I've done that 3 times now and you've fallen for it each time. First and foremost, we need to thank our lovely sponsor. This stream would not be possible without Free League Publishing, who graciously sent us advanced copies of their new Middle-earth TTRPG, The One Ring, so that we could play in a more fleshed out version of Middle-earth. If you would like to order your own copy of The One Ring, whether that is the bundle, the starter kit, the core rulebook, the dice, or the maps, just go to freeleaguepublishing.com and get yours today. Thank you, Tori, for showing off the dice. Much appreciated. Speaking of things that you can buy, I would like to share something with my players. The Unpredicted Party is thrilled to announce that we will be launching merchandise.
What? Wait.
That's cool.
What?
That's cool.
There is a
Vance.
design that I sent the players not too long ago that they may or may not remember.
Yes.
This will be featured on various merchandise products that you yourselves can buy. And I'm going to show the players right now. Players, what do you think of this?
Oh, that's so cool.
I love it.
Oh, amazing.
It's perfect. It's so good.
I love it.
I think without even realizing it, the artist, whose name is Holly, thank you, made Beery looking up at Halloweth, and Halloweth looking over at Tennell, and Tennell looking at Halloweth, and it's the perfect little...
We got a bit of a triangle going on here.
Yeah.
Oh my
Awesome.
God.
It's beautiful.
That's so cool.
He's got his chain shirt and everything.
Thank you to
Oh
the
my
folks
God.
over at Teespring for helping create all of this. If you go to donmarshall72merch.com, you can get your various t-shirts, mugs, hoodies. I don't actually know what this is going to be on. We've just got the image right now. We're recording these way in advance. You'll be able to find it on basically whatever. If you want something and we don't have it in the store, shoot me a DM. I will absolutely make it just for you. No problem. All right. Screen sharing done.
Yay.
Love that.
Players.
Love it.
I'm
right.
so excited for that. I need one. I need all the
Yeah,
things.
I know, right?
Yeah.
You
Oh,
guys
yeah.
are getting
Make
getting
it
it for free.
quick.
You guys are getting it for free. You know that, right?
Yeah, even better.
Well,
That's
we
how this
didn't. We
works.
absolutely did not know that.
Well, now you know. Now you know.
Yay.
Meantime, keep an eye out for the next line of merch, maybe, which is just a shirt that says, I, for one, will gladly welcome our bird overlords, which is a saying that I have seen more than 15 times in the comments sections of
Oh my-
various videos promoting.
They have no
this
idea what they're
platform.
asking for.
They have no
They
They
idea.
have no idea.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that. The Unpredicted Party design is available now. The Bird Overlord one, maybe one day, I don't know, probably. Another note, at about the 1 hour mark, we will be taking a quick break for the folks over on Twitch. In that 5-minute break, we will be launching a contest link that you can go to enter into a contest to win a digital copy of The One Ring.
Wahoo.
It's phenomenal. It's like 200 to 300 pages. I've read every single one many times over.
It's amazing.
All right, so make sure you are paying attention to the chat. As always, we do have a couple of very special thank yous to folks that make this possible. Special thanks to our very talented artist, Sarah M. Shunky. You can find her at Sarah M. Shunky on Instagram. The battle maps for this entire campaign are crafted by Little Wit the Cartographer. Search Little Wit the Cartographer on Facebook. The music has been lovingly crafted by Cullen Vance. You can stream his music on Spotify, Bandcamp, and iTunes. Just search Cullen Vance or cullenvancecreative.com. I can't wait for all of you to hear it in the final product. I'm talking to the 3 of you because we can't play the music while we're here. Finally, a very special thanks to my wife, Nat, who is working behind the scenes to make sure that all of this works smoothly and that these streams are not 6.5 hours, 4.5 of which are me rambling, trying to figure out how this works. So much love. Thank you, honey. All right. Without further ramblings, are we ready to go?
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Our journey began many weeks ago as two elves, Halueth and Tanel, travel from Lothlorien to Rivendell on a mission from Galadriel. On their way to Rivendell, they met the eccentric dwarf Beery. As the three approach Rivendell, however, they discover that something is wrong. The One Ring has been found. Eventually, after much discussion, a decision is made to fly the eagles to Mordor to destroy the ring as quickly as could be. But the fellowship that went on this journey failed. One of the eagles, Gwaihir the Windlord, was tempted by the ring. In his lust for power, he killed the fellowship and flew directly into the great eye atop Barad-dûr, cast the spirit of Sauron aside, and now rules Middle-earth for his own. The only survivor of the attack, Landroval the Eagle, managed to get back to Rivendell to warn you all of the danger. Meanwhile, Elrond was possessed by Gwaihir, who took control of him through the Elven Rings. But you managed to save him, as Halueth cut off his arm. You then accompanied Elrond's three children, Arwen, Elladan, and Elrohir, to collect the bodies of the Fellowship. But Arwen left before you, got there first, buried Aragorn, and took off before you could get there. On the headstone, it was discovered that Arwen is pregnant with a child named Eldarion, the heir to the throne of Gondor. Her brothers took off after her as you took the bodies back to Rivendell. As you traveled back to Rivendell, the body of Gandalf was reanimated by Gwaihir the Windlord. But you dispatched him quickly thanks to some cunning martial arts by Tinel the elf, and Halueth cut off his arm. As you approached Rivendell, you watched as Gloin, Gimli's father, performed the dwarven rituals over his body. You also managed to convince Glorfindel, who is ruling in Elrond's stead as he heals, to give up the Elven Ring. Halueth made the decision to take that Elven Ring and Infinity Gauntlet Gandalf's hand with two of the three Elven Rings currently on the petrified hand of the Grey Pilgrim.
It's a good idea. It's a good idea. I stand by that.
Sure.
I stand by it.
You now hold two of the Elven Rings, gaining much of the trust of the elves of Rivendell. Halueth, for saving Elrond, you were given Aeglos, the spear of the elf Gil-galad, king of the elves during the Second Age. Tinel, you were given a new set of armor, and Beery, the elves let you keep that liquid mithril that you found from the blacksmith as it was lying around, seemingly cast off or lost. When we last left off, Beery, with the help of Tinel, was granted access to the forge at Rivendell. Before we begin, Beery, Tinel, you have earned one fellowship point for that interaction at the end.
Oh, yes!
The pool of fellowship points now
Nice.
stands at 2 between the three of you. Use them wisely. And remember, you also have your hope. You've had a good run so far. Things have been going all right, and you're not dead yet. When we last left off, Beery, you were at the forge. What are you trying to do?
Just for clarification, I'm so sorry. I'm at one fellowship, correct?
So because you are now involved with the fellowship points pool,
It's three?
you now have access to both. Yes.
2 or 3?
We're at 2 so far.
2. Very good.
Mhm,
Okay,
mhm.
beautiful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Okay, so he's making something kind of weird. This will probably take him a few days and no sleep. It's day and night. It's frantic, manic, speed crafting, and the only way Beery knows how. He is making a travel anvil out of that lump of iron ore that he found. So he's smelting it down, adding, of course, all the fantastic additives that he has at disposal at a elven forge. I'm only assuming here, and then forging to build it up, pretty much making what's known as a bridge anvil. So it's lightweight, maybe around 30 to 40 pounds, but there's a twist. There's a mechanism inside of the empty space in the body of the anvil that does some kind of tricky stuff. Let's say, like when swinging a hammer, after the strike, you choke up the handle just underneath the hammerhead to lift it, to get the momentum moving, and then you grip down at the base again. This hammer does it automatically. Utilizing a rack and gear reduction, along with a spiral spring. It retracts up against his hands, and then when he swings it, the centrifugal force overcomes the strength of the spring and extends outward, so that he's able to accelerate the hammer itself, the anvil hammer, at very rapidly, and then it retracts and he's able to move around with ease, but also offer powerful strikes choked way down the anvil, down the handle. I'll draft it up. I promised you guys a drafting of it, but I have like,
oh my God.
like a basic drawing of it. Let me see if it comes up.
Yes, please.
Whoa.
Yeah, just
Oh,
very basic stuff right now, but I'll get it worked out to our, just in case I need to build it one day. No, okay,
Yes,
okay.
yeah,
No.
Yeah.
But it makes
so
sense, and
cool.
he's blinked
that's
a
cool.
matter of like probably 30 times an hour. He's just like got goggles down. He's black in the soot, and he's just going into utter madness in the workshop, building this contraption.
All right, Beery. Now we're gonna role play it like this, because you have been
Please.
given this mission by Glorfindel, so there is a slight sense of urgency. Would Beery be willing to have help?
Ooh, depends on from who.
We'll play it like this then. Beery, you spend hours in this forge the first day. Aaron the blacksmith standing right next to Tanel immediately after you get started, a little bit dumbstruck, like, what did I just agree to do? But as he watches you work, he moves around and kind of looks at you and what you're doing, and you're moving at lightning speed, just blinking every which way. The boar is just moving everywhere, trying to help you, lifting things, helping move things. And you make enough of a commotion that after about 3 or 4 hours, Aaron disappears. And he comes back with Gloin and the 6 other dwarves.
I'm gonna cry.
He walks up to you and goes, Master Dwarf, many hands can make for light work. If you wouldn't mind. And he gestures to himself and to Gloin and the rest of the dwarves. And you can clearly see the dwarves have been just having an absolutely horrible time ever since they got the news. But this gives them something to do, to take their mind off of it. And you watch as Gloin, proud, strong dwarf that he is, goes, for Gimli.
I can't handle this right now. Yes, there's much dwarven ale exchanged. There's full-blown striker circles happening. There is hand-in-hand dwarven crafts coming together to make this happen. Oh my goodness, this is blowing my mind. Yes.
Excellent. Beery, you now roll the items you would like to craft with advantage.
Love it.
If you had turned down the help and wanted to do this on your own, I would have let you do it, but you've got dwarves there with you and it's there for help. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a series of checks for the pieces that you need to make, right?
Okay.
I would like
in like 3 sections.
We're going to make it in 3. Nope. We're going to make this in 3 sections, right? You roll 3 different times. Each time you're making a craft check.
Okay. First would probably be the anvil itself.
Go ahead.
Oh my God. So nervous.
no.
It's a Gandalf. Yes.
You know what?
There
You know
go.
what? I'm not even going to make you make the rest of the checks.
No,
Instant
No.
success.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
Instant success. You
I'm gonna
spend
freaking cry.
you spend what you thought was going to be 3 or 4 days working on this anvil. Instead, with the help of 6 dwarves the boar, and Aerin the blacksmith. You work and you work and you smelt and you craft and you sing the dwarven songs, and Aerin even teaches you the songs that the elves sing. It's 4 o'clock in the morning the next day. The fires are going. It's smelting. Everything is led to this moment. At the last moment, you pull out this beautifully perfected anvil. Beery, what are you doing in this moment?
Oh my God. Yeah, it's connected to the handle to make it a hammer. And it's all complete. All of the finely cut gearworks are glinting with just pristine precision as we welcome the morning in the valley. You know, I'm imagining the morning sun misted from the waterfalls, coming out with his brand new, these are brand new relationships with these renowned dwarf legends. These dwarven legends and this elf. We exit the forge to, glistening with sweat and soot to welcome the morning sun. And he's gonna lift up the anvil warhammer. He's gonna proclaim and wake up all these freaking elves. By Durin, it's done.
Beautiful. As this sunrise over the waterfall sets in, you watch as Aerin comes out from behind you with a small wooden box. The box says fragile on the side, and he gestures at you and goes, "The first strike is yours, Master Dwarf. Let's see what this thing can do."
Just the box.
Just a small
empty?
wooden
Oh,
box.
God.
It's empty. He just wants
He
you to
peeks inside
destroy.
and make sure there's nothing valuable that might get smashed.
Nothing
Okay.
valuable. It's an empty wooden box.
He sets it down, kind of, gets it kind of squared up in his hands. The anvil is kind of retracted towards his hands. He gives it a full swing as the centrifugal energy extends the anvil outward, and then just can I roll to smash?
You absolutely can
Yes!
roll to smash.
Oh my God. Hit my target number.
Beautiful. The box smashes
Yeah.
into smithereens. He holds up Aerin holds up a finger one moment and goes, "If you don't mind," and calls another elf over. The elf is holding a watermelon.
Oh my God. We're going Gallagher.
He takes
Let's go.
a spear, chucks it into the ground, puts the watermelon on top of it, and says, "By all means."
Oh, he's going for it wholeheartedly for sure.
Roll with advantage.
Oh God. Just under my target number. He's getting overzealous now. He's getting like a spin going.
You
Classic.
take this momentum and you spin a little bit and you just nick the underside and cut the spear off at the shaft. And Aerin takes one look and goes, "Well, I saw that coming. Try again." And you just very quickly on the second attempt just smash it, no problem. You don't even need to make an attack roll. There's this watermelon is not trying to attack you at all.
I love it. And after he swings every time, it retracts back to down on the handle, like kind of inspired a little bit by like a switch axe from Monster Hunter.
From Monster Hunter, yes.
But of course, smaller, obviously. It's not ridiculous, but yeah, it retracts, ready for another blow to extend again.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Aerin then says, "Come." And there is an elf carrying what looks to be a training dummy. Sticks it in the ground. Beery, this item is not attacking you. You do not need to make an attack roll. I just need you to roll 2d12 to tell me how much you destroy this thing.
Okay. Here we go.
The watermelon was a smaller target, so I thought you might miss. In this case, you won't.
It's a success.
It's a success. What was your highest roll?
It was a 6.
It was
on
a
the
6.
D12. It was a 6.
Okay, on the
He's
D12.
getting used to it. He's filling it out.
There you go.
After the swing and a miss, he's being a little bit more conservative. A little bit.
It's not the headshot that you're going for, but all the same, you thunk, slam this body to the point where this stick buckles under the weight of this new axe. From a mechanical standpoint, I have to ask, did you use any of the liquid mithril within?
I did not.
You did not use any of the liquid mithril. All right. So Gloin is going to come up, pat you on the shoulder and say, "We did well, my boy. You used that well, aye?"
I want to grab him up by the shoulders and go face to face and actually do the full forearm kind of shake and just look at him dead in the eye and just, imagine we're covered in soot, and like the goggle, like blank space and all this. I know we met very not long ago, and I know it was a bit strange for you at first, but I can't tell you what this means to me. I promise to use this hammer to avenge your son.
You watch as his face that was so proud of you, this awkward, kid to him. And you watch his lip quiver just slightly behind the beard.
Don't do it. You're going to make me cry.
Oh, you're going to make me cry. Stop it. All right.
Just
Yeah.
Look
right.
away.
Right then. I assume, given your looks over at the two elves, because I assume, Halloweth, at some point you've come to watch the chaos.
I've definitely come to watch the spectacle for sure. Yes.
Tanel
The
has
Gallagher
like a
concert.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tanel has like a croissant and it's just like eating it, just watching the whole thing unfold.
Yeah, nice. He's just out. Howard's just there with some limbus bread, just like slowly unwrapping the leaves, just watching everything unfold. Like, this is very impressive. Okay. Like nibbling it.
Oh, I love this. Oh, and I forgot to add, there's a horn on the anvil as well. So if he needs to spin it around and do a piercing strike, he can.
Okay. Excellent.
Ooh.
Very dastardly.
So,
Stabby.
Beery, from a mechanical standpoint, the largest weapon that you could make as a blunt force trauma axe type object is a Maddock, which deals 7 damage. However, because you rolled the Gandalf and with the help of all of the dwarves, I am saying that this particular item will deal 8 damage.
What? Are you kidding me?
We'll add it to your inventory once the session is over, and just make a note of it in case we get into combat this turn.
Oh my God.
But you
I feel like it's Christmas.
Right. Gloin, standing next to you, goes, "Right then, I assume, well, maybe I assume too much, but I imagine you won't be joining us as we travel back home, boy."
As much I would like to, especially with this newfound friendship that we have forged together. My place is out here. And he just kind of glances out into the horizon. I came out here for adventure, and adventure found me. And I'm here for it. And I want to explore. See what I can make of myself.
Aye. And I'm sure you'll make quite the sight.
Okay, quit it. You're going to make me cry again.
No. This is what dwarfs do.
That's right.
And he claps you on the shoulder again. All of the other dwarves are like, yeah, that's the big macho.
We're having a big,
yeah,
dwarven moment. We're all grabbing each other by the shoulders. Yeah. And then we go back in and have more drinks.
Exactly. Gloin says, "Right, to the hall, and you all head to the hall where you stole those silverware pieces, or attempted to, so long ago, all those weeks ago. And
we're definitely on the performer's high, you know, like you're exhausted, but you're so like up here, you can't come down. So we're just dragging this on.
As the dwarves run off, Glorfindel approaches the two elves who are just sitting there watching this as the peanut gallery, and just says, "You've made quite the friend there, haven't you?"
I do believe we have.
He's a character, and a very talented one at that. And then he glances up like sharply, says, "Don't tell him I said that."
Take a fellowship point, Halloweth. The first between Halloweth and Beery.
Oh my god, I love it.
Glorfindel says, "See that he doesn't drink too much, and then your supplies are ready if you should choose to leave today, though I imagine he may need to sleep this one off."
I think this is going to be a trip for tomorrow.
Quite right. As you were. Please enjoy the day. And you are free to do with the day as you will. Max, is there anything you would like to do during this dwarven ruckus? And Halloweth and Tanel, will you be joining the dwarves?
Oh, what? Yeah.
Yes. Oh, because the somber time is, like the respects have been paid, but I don't feel like there's nothing like a dwarven wake. Now it's like let's send this off in celebration. And it might be kind of like the last time we get the chance. So there is a grimness to the celebration, but it is joyous. At least I'm imagining through the dwarves. At least that's where Beery's coming from.
Sure. All right, Halloweth, are you joining the elf and the dwarves?
Yes, I think he is for the first time. He's not gonna join in with everything. He's gonna be very much a strider in the prancing pony style, just like, yeah. He's gonna be composing a little song.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't realize this episode was gonna be so emotional.
I know.
The three of you, along with the 6 other dwarves, spend the next 4 to 5 hours, as you've been up for at least 24, 28 hours at this point, punch drunk, happy. The elves feel fine. They don't need as much sleep. The dwarves, an hour in, are exhausted. That first ale got to their head. The second ale got even worse. At the third ale, Gloin starts tossing little cubes of cheese into your mouth.
Oh yeah.
Gary, and you grab it. He starts throwing them at you, Tanel, and you can catch them. You want to try and catch them in your mouth?
I'm gonna just actually try to just catch them out of the air.
That's not a problem. This is a drunk dwarf. You have absolutely no issue.
There's a moment where seeing what she's doing is she's cheating. Beery's gonna be coming in like a strong safety and just kind of like trying to bite one out of midair.
Make an athletics check. You've been up for a day and a half.
There's no cheating in these games. Yeah, he's got bags under his eyes. He's still covered in. Oh God.
Thank you for reminding me. Make it with disadvantage.
Oh yeah. I'm imagining because she's so much taller than him, so he really has to jump off a chair.
Oh yeah, you jump up on the table and try and grab it. Whether or not you actually make it.
Athletics. Okay. Oh, actually rolled really well, but I did fail.
Okay. You, as masterfully as a drunken dwarf who is trying to do all of this can, you jump up on the table and do like a quick spin move, like and it hits you on the forehead and falls to the ground. And Gloin just goes, sorry, you can't be doing that, mate. Another hour goes by. You're having an amazing time, at which point Gloin takes that deep breath and goes, my boy was a hero. And you all are my friends. And if that is the end of the world, there is no one else I would rather die fighting side by side next to. Picks up the glass. For Gimli.
For Gimli.
Halloweth.
He raises it. He's very solemn.
Throws it down on the table, chugs the rest of it. And as you see this dwarf's 7th or 8th, you watch him slowly start to teeter over. For Gimli. His head just kind of slumps and he falls asleep at the table.
He needs his rest. He's been working all night.
Yeah, the other dwarves looking around in their drunken state go, we sleep the day away. Because it's like noon at this point. You've been up for a good 36 hours, you know. And they make their way over to their chambers where they're staying. And the three of you remain in this dining hall. There are other elves trickling in as the dwarves leave because you've kind of been hogging this hall for a few hours. It's time for lunch.
Seems about right.
Yeah, I'm imagining Beery as being at the same level as Gloin for sure. Just waddles kind of over to the elves if they're together. Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know we just kind of met, but I feel that we have a very bright, and he's still like holding on to his very precious new toy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we have a very bright future ahead of us, even though it might seem bleak, it might seem real bleak, but I'm telling you, we're going to be great friends. I promise. And just waddles off into somewhere where he's going to fall asleep. He's utterly exhausted.
You're just like laying down, just right there in front of him.
Yeah, just on the floor.
With his new hammer as a pillow.
Yeah.
There's going to be like a gear like imprint on the side of his face when he wakes up.
Beery, you lay this hammer down, and you know some of them are short circular tables, others are long like picnic benches. You're on one of the picnic benches and you just lay down, fall asleep, start snoring. Halloweth, Tanel, the day, night, afternoon is yours as Beery sleeps this off.
Should we leave him?
I believe we'll leave him to sleep this one off. He gestures to like the exit. To go down to card. Actually, before he leaves, Howleth just takes off the cloak and just lays it over Beery.
Take one more fellowship point.
It's the cutest damn thing I've ever heard.
Friendship.
With the three best friends that
Halloweth, Tanel, you
he
leave
leaves.
the dwarf. You leave the dwarf where he is sleeping and make your way out of the dining hall, attracting a couple of stares as the, elves that had been, looking over at you like, are you really going to leave him like that? Not in words, just in looks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
The two elves, you have the day to do what you will. Is there anything specific you would like to do, or would you like to skip to the next day and begin preparations for your journey?
I think Howleth's going to go into a sort of trance now. He needs rest as well. This was a wild night for it. Staying in a corner watching a party is a wild night for Halloweth. So, sitting there doing nothing all night took a lot out of him. And he has his little song. He has a little songbook which he's been composing and subtly with his lute. He's going to go and just rest. I think this day is done. He's just going to be preparing for tomorrow.
Got it. Tanel, the day is yours if you would like to use it in any way.
I think she's just going to kind of prepare most of the day, make sure that her armor is coming along nicely. And then towards the end of the day, she's going to try to find like the highest point, a very tall tree, try to see over the mountains a little bit towards the direction of Lorien. She knows the scouts aren't going to be back yet, but just to kind of make herself feel a little bit better.
The tallest tree that you could find that would show you the Misty Mountains would be on the western side of Rivendell by the waterfall. You find this beautiful, beautiful fir tree, and the branches are close together. You can climb up there, no problem. You find, in that same way that Bilbo was able to in the Hobbit movie, you find that this patch of trees is just close enough to the waterfall that any other sound is drowned out. It is you at one with nature, the wind in your hair, breathing deeply, the smells, because you've had nothing but the forge for many hours now. The fresh air is quite soothing. As you look east, the Misty Mountains, you see their snow caps, and the sun just above you beats down on you. And even though it's later in the year, there's a pleasant, cool breeze, not cold, but cool, as if the magic of the elven rings that helped keep this place as calm and peaceful as it was still lingers in some small way here in Rivendell. Tanel, what's going through your mind right now?
She's just kind of trying to calm her mind just by this very simple act of trying to be diligent and vigilant and on the look. She's hoping that Lorien is safe, or as safe as it can be, and is hoping that this next step towards Angmar is the correct one. And she's really hoping it's the correct one.
All right.
And she stays until it starts to get a little bit dark and then pops off and heads back.
All right. Having spent the day as you will, the evening comes. Beery, you haven't moved. The night passes and you all wake up the next morning. As you are awaking and in the breakfast room, Tanel, you are approached by Aerin and goes, "My lady, apologies for the delay. The dwarves having their way in my forge made things a bit difficult, but your armor is ready if you would like to join me after you eat."
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent. You spend the next few minutes wrapping up your breakfast and make your way to the forge. As you approach, you see Aerin holding up a light chainmail that looks slightly different than what you are used to in Lothlorien, who utilize leather and cloth armor more than anything. And he goes, "Here, try it on," and hands it to you.
All right. And she takes off the current leather armor that she's wearing and slips it on.
Right. Aerin very quickly flicks out a dagger and slices across your arm as you pull up the defense, because it goes till about the mid forearm. And you notice the blade has no effect on you. He goes, "Very useful for avoiding slashing damage. Piercing, I can't promise, but some of my finer work, if I do say so myself."
I would have to agree with you.
You be careful with that now.
Yes, of course. Absolutely. Thank you again, deeply.
Of course. And be safe.
I will try my best.
Tanel, make an insight check.
Okay. that has me worried.
He's lying. He doesn't want you to be safe.
Yeah, he wants me to die. I hope I never see you again. Well, that was a 1.
Oh, an instant failure. Okay.
It's a 3 altogether. It's
Oh,
all
no.
ones.
Oh, no.
All right.
Oh, no.
Tough to tell, but from the way this guy is speaking to you, you can't quite tell if he's secretly working for Sauron or he has a crush on you and kind of wants you to be safe for him. But it's very unclear. You're having a lot of trouble.
It's somewhere in that spectrum.
Perfect. So Nell, honestly, for a good second, just sits there and goes, and then just leaves without saying anything.
he goes after you like, "What? You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome."
Forgot to get out of the city.
You can never have anything forced for you ever again.
No, can't take that chance.
Tanel, you may now add another +1 to your parry score.
Oh my god.
Was she at 20?
Oh, no one's hitting
20.
me ever. No one's hitting me ever.
This is an agile elf.
Wow.
That just means I need to make the bosses all the harder.
No.
Look at what you're doing to us, Tori.
I'm so sorry.
The evening passes and the morning dawns. And Beery, you wake up on the side of a picnic table style seat with the impression of an anvil gear pressed into your face.
Yeah, as he kind of peels himself up and just kind of like, groggily looks around, and to aid in the inevitable hangover that's, I'm sure, waiting in wait for him, he's gonna grab the nearest thing, drink it, and maybe something that's edible, eat it, and slowly come to. Maybe go towards the fountain. I don't know. So trying to find people, trying to get his bearings.
As you are looking for folks, Halloweth, what are you doing?
I am having a wonderful breakfast where I have a stuffed eggplant. I think I'll have a breakfast, some stuffed eggplant with orzo, sun-dried tomatoes, some garlic. Yeah, a really nice little vegetable concoction for breakfast.
Delicious.
That is the
Yeah.
most British thing I have ever heard. All right.
It's good.
It is.
It
Sounds wonderful.
Tanel, what are you doing?
I think I would actually be joining Halloweth, but very quietly,
Mm-hmm.
not disturbing the morning peace, and
Sure.
also having breakfast.
We will play it like this then. Halloweth, are you okay with Tanel joining you for breakfast?
Yes, he is. He just acknowledges. Nod. I mean, they're going to be on the road for a long time together at this point. He's just going to get used to it and get used to company, which he's not used to at all at the moment. So, yeah, says gestures down.
You two sit down to a breakfast together. About 5 minutes later, you watch as Beery, who has been sleeping on the table, rises, grabs the food and water to his left and right that I'm assuming the dwarves placed there overnight or wherever, walks out, doesn't even notice the two of you are there.
He's still got the cloak, like over
Yeah,
his shoulders as
still
he shuffles around.
If you would like to talk during breakfast, you are welcome to. If you would rather not role play and skip ahead, that is totally fine. It's up to you.
I think Howlett's going to very, very loudly and piercingly just say, "Good morning."
You see his shoulders kind of like wince as he turns around, like, oh, yeah, good morning.
Morning.
It's kind of like, is it brighter? I mean, I feel like it's a lot brighter today.
No, it's just your inebriated senses. But I trust you slept well.
Yeah, I mean, holds up the hammer, all proud. Still has like the big indentation of the gearwork on the side. Kind of like sits down at the table with them, kind of sitting across picnic style. And so, what's the plan?
Well, I'm enjoying a wonderful Rivendell breakfast currently. I suggest you do the same, and we'll pack up and head out as soon as possible.
Right. Beery's gonna look around for the nearest like waiter? Is it?
It's
just like a wait. Is there a wait staff here?
It's not a wait staff. It's
Okay.
it's chefs that know that like they need to bring the food. It's their turn to
Mhm.
cook. There's like all the elves are, this is a commune basically, but they all help
Mhm.
each other out. So
Yeah.
waving your
Waving.
hands. One of the
He
elves,
doesn't know. He doesn't know how this works. So he's just trying to flag somebody down.
one of the elves comes over and goes, "Yes, Master Dwarf. I assume you would like a tall glass of water and some bread."
Yeah. Bread. Something greasy. Do you have like a dark ale or? I mean, none of that wine. I mean, that wine just straight to my head. Just honestly, just bring me anything.
I'm sure we'll think of something. And he heads off to grab it, comes back a minute or two later with a giant plate of sausages and just a mug of ale and a mug of water and goes, "Master Dwarf," and heads out.
Incredible.
I love this place. As he's kind of like has like a sausage, like a cigar, kind of chewing on it. This place is as mystical as I thought it was gonna be, and he's just like having a ball, having a dwarven ball.
Alice just looking more and more with just like, oh, delightful.
Danelle's like making sure to like subtly push the water towards him closer to make sure he drinks that first.
Like, moves it out
Pretty
of the way
much
so he
just like-
grab his beer.
All right.
Having successfully cured your hangover by drinking even more, Beery, you spend
Hear the dog.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You spend the next few minutes eating as much as you possibly can. The three of you taking in your final moments in Rivendell as you prepare to head out.
Is there any other preparations that we need to accomplish before we head out into the wild blue yonder?
I say we travel light.
I agree.
I mean, sure. And he takes like the pin out of the anvil kind of head, slides it off of the thing, and he kind of straps it to the back of his belt, kind of the center of his gravity. And the handle's not like a walking stick, but it has kind of cool gear work on it. Yeah, that's as light as I get.
Wow. Okay. Maybe a bedroll or some rations.
Oh man, I got my
Is there
stuff. And he
nothing
points,
else?
yeah, he points at his like bedroll and pack that he came with that is still like on the bench that he was sleeping on. Yeah.
Okay. Just checking. He looks to Janelle. He says, "We ready?"
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent.
All right.
Hi, let's have an adventure.
Yeah.
All right. You wrap up breakfast and you begin collecting all of your things, preparing for the journey ahead. As you spend the next few hours getting ready, collecting all of your things, conversing and talking with everybody, you make your way to the clearing where the entrance to Rivendell on, hang on, let me think about this. You would take the western side by the waterfall to go up towards where you need to go. There are two paths, because Rivendell is in a valley, so there's two paths.
Mhm.
You'll take the western side up. As you are approaching the entrance to the paths, you find horses and a small cart waiting for you. The cart is strapped to the back of the horse. You watch Glorfindel standing there in front of you, and as well as a very injured Elrond holding on to a staff.
Lord Elrond, this is a surprise.
The occasion calls for it, Master Howard.
Hello, how are you?
Oh boy.
Master Beery, I never got the chance to thank you personally for all you did. Thank you.
I'm here to serve.
It has been many years since the dealings of the elves and dwarves were so amicable. I am only sorry it is under such circumstances.
Hey, I'm a firm believer that we have a bright future ahead of us.
May your hope keep us all strong. Lady Tennell, thank you as well.
Yes, of course.
He looks at the three of you and almost seems for the first time at a loss for words. He simply sizes the three of you up and goes, "You have my heartfelt thanks and my personal apology that I was not strong enough."
You need not apologize.
And yet,
the valley.
Indeed. My thanks that you even attempt this journey. Farewell. And you watch as the cane that the staff that he is holding on to starts to shake. He raises the stump of his forearm and tries to do the elven gesture, but can really only make it up to about midway across his chest. Bows. Farewell. And walks back towards the house. Meanwhile, Rivendell looks over at the three of you and goes, "You have my thanks as well, elves. Master Dwarf, I have instructed the elves to help with your boar." And you start to notice that this cart that is on the back of the horse is just enough sized where there is a container for the boar that can ride on the back of the horse, so that you don't have to wait for the boar to catch up or go any slower than you need to. He looks down at you and goes, "I hope it is all right. Speed is of the essence, and you have a long journey ahead of you."
Beery doesn't say anything, but just like marches up and just hug around his middle. Gives his chest a pat, and then just goes and like starts loading Gorge up.
You are quite welcome then. He gestures over at the remaining part of the cart, which is like a little sidecar almost off to the side of where Gorge is. And inside you see, there's a bunch of lembas. There's water skins that are chock full. And he goes, "For you all, it should sustain you for many, many days to come. It is a long journey. Please be safe."
Beery right now is standing in the cart with his pig, and "This is terrific. Thank you." Just like the fact that they've the elves are offering them kindness and generosity is blowing his mind. Sorry, Zach, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Not at all. I like the fact that he did interrupt, because how on earth would we move it through saying, "Thank you, Mom. This is great."
This is awesome.
He's just going.
This is a beautiful thing
Thank
I'm
you.
watching right now. He nods back at you and goes, "Lord Halloweth, Miss Tennell, Master Dwarf." Gestures at you. Elven farewell.
But before you go, a request, if you don't mind.
By all means.
If your scouts return from Lorien with less than favorable news, could you please send them our way?
We have dealings with the Dunedain previously, but I cannot promise our hawks could find them. They move silently, but I will try my best.
Thank you.
Of course. Good fortune go with you three. And he takes his leave. The three of you, saddled up on the horses, from a mechanical standpoint, Beery, are you riding in the back with Gorge, or are you riding on one of the horses with one of the elves?
About to say he's never he's from where he's from. Riding horses is not another thing. The first thing he does is tries to grab the reins of the horse and silly elves didn't make him long enough. And he pulls out a knife from his kind of apron kind of armor thing, cuts it in half, adds a little bit, and he's kind of riding in the back with like a chariot. So he adds a little bit of reins. So He's in the back with the pig in the cart with reins like a chariot.
Watch him just armor up the entire the chariot and make it like a war machine.
Yes.
Zach, baby, you know what's up.
Oh boy, this will be good.
Oh,
It's gonna get good. It's gonna get real good.
Beery's chariot in tow. The two elves hop on the horses and make their way up towards the western entrance of Rivendell. As you make your way out of the valley of Rivendell, the waterfall off to your right, you watch as the afternoon sun greets you, and you set off on the road towards Angmar. And that's where we're going to take our quick break for the folks over at Twitch. We'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Into it.
We'll be back in about 5 minutes. Make sure you're paying attention to the link in chat so you can join in the contest to win a digital copy of The One Ring. We'll see you in a few minutes. And welcome back. When we last left off, everybody was getting ready to travel to Angmar or thereabouts. You all would know just from general maps that you have that you are heading towards the area of Angmar. You also know that the Witch King's fortress of Carn Doom is probably the most deadly location. Beery, you would have no idea, but the elves absolutely would. You're going to travel as close to that place as you feel comfortable, and we will role play from that portion. By all accounts, based on the math that I have done, it is going to take you roughly 5 to 7 days to get there, depending on how you all roll. So we're going to do what's called a journey progression. So you're all going to roll various things. You can all choose how you want to do this. So first of all, as you are all journeying, you will need to keep a lookout. One of you can be that lookout. You can use a scan check. I'll need to make a number of scan checks as the days go on. You will also need to make awareness checks for each of the days you make watch. You will also need to make a travel roll, which in this case will just be, I believe, a D12 if you don't have any D6s, and we'll average it out and go from there. What this is going to do is this is going to sort of explain how the journey goes depending on whether or not you meet with any hardship. If you roll a natural one, like you break your ankle, or not actually, but like something goes bad on day 1 through 4 or whatever. And if you roll a bunch of successes and you beat the average, then you will be fine. So for those among the three of you, you will need to make a scan check, an awareness check, and a travel check. Do any of you have a preference for which one you would like to roll based on your advantages within your skill tree? Tanel?
Awareness preferably.
All right. And anybody else? Beery?
If he can use scan, that's his strongest thing.
All right. And travel. Are you all right taking that? Zach?
Sure. I don't have. It was blocked out for me because I thought we were going
Right,
to
right.
Yeah.
So initially we weren't going to do that. The way I am resolving that, since we're not going to be utilizing it as much, I'm just going to have you roll a D12, and it doesn't necessarily like I'm not going to say like, oh, it goes better because you had those extra D6. I'm just going to give you like roll the D12, see what happens, and the journey will continue. I will also.
So am I using my target number for this as well?
No, you're not going to be using your target number. These are just going to be straight rolls. So let me do this for the audience. So these are going to be straight rolls. Whether or not you hit your target number is irrelevant. It will be up for me, who has set the danger level for this area, as well as what you are traveling through for the majority of the duration. So if you would not mind, we will do day 1. Tanel, please make an awareness check for me. Beery, make a scan check for me. And Halloweth, roll a D12 for travel.
Travel is a 4.
Okay.
Awareness is a 15. I beat my target number by 1.
Okay. Beery.
Success. Not by much, but a success.
Okay. What do you roll, if you don't mind me asking? Because target numbers are okay, but they're kind of irrelevant in this, given the danger level as we get closer to Angmar.
13.
13. Got it. And Halloweth, you rolled a 4. All right. So luckily, you've all rolled high enough that the first day of your journey, as you travel through the north towards the area of Angmar, is going to be through like closer to the area of the weather top as you cross the bridge and start heading north. There is a small mountain range known as the Ettenmoors, which basically blocks your ability to make a full straight, like a beeline towards the Angmar area where you know some of these rangers reside. That was day 1.
Does Beery have any knowledge of any like tunnels or subterranean passageways that get through this mountain range?
I'm going to let the dice decide this one. Beery, make a lore check to see if you know.
Okay. 12, and my target number is 13.
Okay, so you try and rack your brain about anything that could possibly give you just a quick shortcut, and nothing's really coming to mind. This area doesn't feel quite as familiar. All right, so at the end of day 1, you have all traveled successfully. This will now be day 2. I would all ask you to roll the same as you did before. Tanel with awareness, Beery with scan, Halloweth with travel.
With Halloweth, can I swap him? Because I don't want to.
If you would like to change how we do this, I would say that yes. So
I mean, just for the day, like rotating roles.
Sure. So as you're moving on throughout the day and the evening and setting watch, and this is basically a way to shorten what would be a 5 to 7 day journey into about 3 to 4 minutes. So we don't wind up. Now, if anything crazy happens on the end and one of you rolls an instant success or an instant failure, we're going to have something to talk about. However, in the meantime, as long as you all manage, you'll be fine. So yeah, if you would like to, Tanel, you can make an awareness check. Beery, you can make a travel check. Just roll the D12. And then Halloweth, you can make a scan check.
$18.
18. All right.
I did get a 6 on one of my D6s.
Okay. Excellent. Beery.
7 for travel.
7 for travel. Halloweth.
18, and both of my D6s were 6s.
Okay.
We planned this. Yes.
Yes, oh, absolutely.
Halloweth.
Nice.
On day 2 of your travel, as you're moving along, you notice a large outcropping of rock and think to yourself, that seems like a place that may offer some kind of shelter. As you're traveling on the second day, you start heading towards this rock outcropping in the evening. And Gorge, the Erebor boar, starts going,
Erebor Orbor. Yeah.
the Erebor Orbor starts going, and
Like
as
on
you
his
slow
chariot?
down,
What do you smell?
he hops off as you all slow down, runs over to the rock outcropping. Beery, if you would like to, you can spend an hour and mine 2 pieces of, mechanically speaking, you will have 2 lumps of copper.
Yes. Yes. This is wonderful. Good job, Halloweth.
My pleasure. My pleasure. And he sits down and he just starts to pluck at his lute.
Yeah. You spend an hour waiting as the dwarf starts and you've now got 2 pieces of copper that, mechanically speaking, we'll go over after the show, and you'll be able to keep it in your inventory for a later day. Day 3, I will ask you all to make those rolls.
All right. Oh.
Oh no, that's 2 of you. Beery, what did you roll?
Rolled an 11 and an Eye of Sauron.
No.
Tanel, what did you roll?
Okay, I rolled a Gandalf for awareness, so maybe we'll be okay.
We're aware how screwed we are.
The journey is dangerous, but we're well aware of it.
Halloweth, what
Yeah.
did you roll?
I got a 10.
A 10. Okay.
Okay.
And on the third day.
Shit went down.
On day 3 of your travels, you bed down for the night, making it what you assume is roughly halfway towards where you need to be. You're approaching, you see the Ettenmoor mountain range, well, not range, but you see the Ettenmoor mountains off to your right as you continue to travel north, searching for any pieces of forest or people that might be able to lead you to these Dunedain. As you lay down to sleep, Halloweth, your dreams are vivid.
Okay.
Much like many days ago, as you traveled back to Rivendell with the bodies of the Fellowship, you see the hidden elven city of Gondolin in its splendor of the First Age. People walking around marketplaces, a thriving place of elven bliss. And very quickly, you find yourself a young elf atop the ramparts, ready to fight, but knowing you may need to flee. You peer over the walls, and over the battlements you see a column of dragons. And on top of these drakes, Balrogs, ready to sack the city. The dream changes, and you see once again the Lady of the Wood, Galadriel, stands in front of you, her back turned to you, and you feel yourself present in the dream again. What do you do?
I approach her. I say, my lady, is all well in the Golden Wood?
You watch as she turns her head back to you, and you notice that her right eye is normal, and her left eye has a small black patch on the left side of where white should be. Halueth, my strength is... You feel yourself fly up into the air again, just as you did before. You see this bird circling over and over. You still can't tell what bird it is, and the dream goes dark. You wake up the next morning and begin your travels. I need you all to make rolls for day 4 of your journey, please.
Oh my God.
Oh, he's not feeling very well rested today.
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. We're ready for another glorious day of travel.
Just one moment, Barry, please.
Well, I mean, the day awaits us. Look at it. It's glorious. Let's go. And just marches out.
Make your rolls, please.
God, this is devastating.
Oh my God.
9 for travel.
9 for travel.
8 for awareness.
8 for awareness.
12 for scan.
12 for scan. All right. The 4th day brings rain. The 4th day brings rougher terrain. You are getting closer to where you know that evil once lurked in Angmar. It's cold. Your clothes are wet. And despite the cloaks that you may have, Beery, I'm assuming you gave the cloak back to Halueth. We never actually did that mechanically speaking.
Nah, he doesn't know it's Halueth's. Would Halueth ask for it back?
Let's retcon
would.
that for a second. Is Halueth asking for it back?
Yeah. So Carlos
he would
mine's
give it
back.
back.
We have a little giggle about it afterwards. But when Barry hunches over, all very hungover the next morning, Halueth proclaims loudly, "Good morning." You remember this, everyone? Hope you were following me. Everyone's remember this. And he then just says, and just holds out his hand.
Perfect. It would have probably been an obnoxious amount of time you'd have been holding your hand out as he hands you
I would
tools
assume
and
so.
weird things. But
Just
you would have been
here by hammers. Like,
I don't want this.
Why would I want this? Why? In what world would I want this?
Okay, so Beery is without a cloak, just like miserable.
Actually, you know what? There's no luck roll skill in this, but Beery, go ahead and roll me a d12 to see if you remembered to bring a cloak.
Oh God.
11.
11, you have a cloak, no problem. You have a cloak, no problem. And that, folks, is how you DM retcons. So, day 4 of this journey, tougher. The road is getting rockier. Beery in the back, the cart is, shaking a little bit. It's a more rocky terrain, not smooth goings at all. Tanel, on day 4 of the journey, you spend the evening taking your watch, and once you go to sleep, you also have a dream as well.
Oh God.
Roll me a d12, please. This is not a skill-related thing. Just roll me a d12.
Oh, jeez.
Good.
A 4.
A 4.
Yes.
You appear to be flying above Middle-earth, and you watch as a single figure on horseback heads south, the Misty Mountains on their left, and 2 figures also on horseback, seemingly following this person. They run, and they run, and they run. However, they don't really seem to be covering any distance at all. And it's hard to tell exactly what is happening, but a journey is taking place outside of your knowledge. Many things are happening in Middle-earth, and you awaken with a sense of dread, feeling that there are things outside your control with people that you may care about or know that you have no ability to affect. I'll ask everyone to make rolls for the 5th day of travel.
This is brutal. How you feeling, Zach? You wanna change it up? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'll switch back to Journey for a while.
Go ahead.
Go for your
No,
scans.
I wasn't pressing you.
No, I'd like to. It's fine.
Go for it.
Go for Journey.
Okay, so
19 for awareness.
19.
Wow.
Yeah.
I rolled this includes a 6. So 24 for scan, but also an Eye of Sauron.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow.
I have advantage on scan.
Ooh.
You have advantage on scan. All right. So
That's
because you have
amazing.
advantage, the Eye of Sauron cancels out, and that
Is it?
24
Oh my god! Okay.
Oh, thank
Yes.
I
God.
thought just the
Oh,
all-seeing
thank
eye f's everything up. Okay.
No, not at all. Because it's, if it was just a straight roll and you rolled the Eye of Sauron, you would have been fine. Halloweth, what did you roll?
An 8 for Journey.
An 8. All right.
Are we doing for advantage rolls? Are we doing where you roll twice or you double the rolls?
No, this is
Right.
this would be considered a favored roll within the One
Yeah,
Ring rulebook.
yeah,
So you would
sorry.
roll 2 d12s
2
and take the
D12s,
higher
yeah.
of the 2.
And then to the higher one. I see.
Exactly.
Cool.
All right. Great. So you manage on the 5th day of travel to make incredible time. The flat plains smooth themselves out, the rocks disappear, and you travel through what appears to be just like this flat plain. And as you approach further north, a light snow starts to fall amongst you. It is getting colder, and you are no longer within the house of Elrond, where the weather is not always perfect.
Is this Beery's first time experiencing snow?
Hang on, let me check my map. No, Erebor would
Erebor is
have
pretty high north.
Erebor is
Mhm.
pretty high north. I'd say you'd have experienced snow,
Okay.
but you probably haven't seen it in quite some time.
He's right now testing the land speed he's like in the salt flats right now and just getting how fast this thing can go. Testing the bearings and all that good stuff, and then the snow, like just cherry on top.
Right. So, based on the math that I have done, the 3 of you start getting the sense that on the 5th day, you are in the land of Angmar. Your journey has more or less come to an end in that you have arrived at your destination, but you are still looking for the Dunedain, yet you are also still aware that Glorfindel asked you to see what is happening in Angmar. And the choice lies with you. Do you approach Angmar in the hopes of finding friends, or do you journey in the wide world? And that is up to the 3 of you to decide right now.
As we maybe stop for lunch, takes a bite of lambus bread, and this was really delicious at the beginning, but it really gets bland after a bit, doesn't it?
Unfortunately, you're right, but it's the best option we have.
And it's snowing. I feel like our journey's been blessed.
Where shall we head now? We have options. We can either search for the Dunedain, pray that they find us before something else does, or we can take a more recon approach and try and scout out some more of the area, see what's happening, and report back to Rivendell with a more succinct report.
I think it might be worth finding the Dunedain. Glorfindel seemed. Oh, go ahead.
No. I'm sorry. What if we did a bit of both? I mean, like, created. I'm a long way from home, so I've never really experienced a lot of this stuff. So what if we put up some type of beacon only the Dunedain would recognize, like a meeting place, and then maybe explode a little bit?
Would I know?
Sorry, go on.
Would I know of anything that would be set up that we could set up like that?
Make a lore check for me.
Oh boy! All right. Okay. 16. Target number is 11. So
You know that you could light some sort of signal fire that may attract the Dunedain, but you're not entirely sure if this is something that would actually work.
Gotcha. Okay.
We also don't want to attract anyone.
Oh yeah,
unwanted.
True.
Yes. The thing that worries me is the creature we saw flying over our heads that night. I mentioned it to Glorfindel and he seemed off-put by it. So I don't think we should go charging straight into danger. The Dunedain may be our best bet at finding out exactly what's going on and maybe even what that creature is.
Okay. Then we can either, well, what we could do is make a little outpost per se. See if we can spot, wait for the Dunedain either to just come along and find us, or as Biri says, we could do both. Scout out some of the area and hope that we come across something to be able to track the Dunedain ourselves.
Hal, I like your style. Let's find a place very defensible. Like, is there a cave nearby?
I guess the only way to find out is to have a look.
Let's find a cave.
Very well. You all spend the next few hours, if not the rest of the day, looking for a cave. All of you go ahead and give me an explore check.
Yay!
Oh no.
Boy,
No, this is good.
Mine's crap.
Yeah, so's mine.
I have to roll a 12 or I don't get it.
So do I.
No. Not even close.
I rolled exactly an 11 and my target number is an 11.
Nice.
Aye.
Beery is favored in Explore, and he rolled a 17.
17. All right. You spend this day looking for any defensible place that you could potentially use as a hideaway to potentially light signal fires, some sort of meeting place. And after about 7 or 8 hours, it takes you most of the day, you find such a place. This cave, you realize, is within a day's journey of Carndum, the outpost of the Witch King of Angmar. It looms in the mountains, far away from you enough that you feel safe, but close enough that you know that the potential to go in is there. And as you sit in the cave, you don't notice anything moving.
This spot is perfect. Look at it. I mean, it's roomy. It's got a nice funnel point just in case we need to defend this spot. It's perfect. I could make a summer home here.
I wouldn't make one here.
It's dank and underground and gloomy. I suppose it'll do.
We're gonna make this a home. You watch. Mark my words. You just watch.
The three of you spend the next few hours in this cave. Nothing. You spend the night in this cave. Beery, you start setting some traps, as you mentioned before.
Yeah, just a simple tripwire, like block and tackle. Yeah, if it's pretty much a boulder, drop down boulder trap that collapses the cave, locks anything in with us, or locks anything out.
Yeah,
to try and block things off. So
you're locked
it out
in
with the elves.
Yeah, you're locked in here with me, Rorschach style from Watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Perfect.
Go ahead, Tanel.
I was gonna say, right as the sun sort of starts to set, Tanel's gonna go out and see if she can see any campfires along the horizon.
Make a scan check for me.
And just to make it extra elfy, she's gonna like stand on top of one of the horses, like on the saddle, to get a better vantage point.
Nice.
Yeah. That dice just kept spinning like a top. Yes, 17. Target number 11.
17. As you look out for the evening, the world around what you know to be Angmar, where you know the Dunedain may be, but you're not entirely sure. Because even Glorfindel doesn't know where these rangers are. They are a shifty folk. You don't see any fires. You don't see any movement in the trees. You don't hear even a rustle of humans or a draw of bowstring. It is quiet. And as you look out, you feel the weight of Carndum, almost as if it is a physical weight on you. And it feels as though the tower is watching you.
All right.
The next day dawns. Would the three of you like to stay in this cave?
I think we should leave.
I agree. I'm gonna go out and on one of the trees, I'm going to mark it with like a very crude with my like knife drawing of the Lorien leaf on one of the trees.
All right. Okay. Cool. My question to the three of you. Are you making your way closer to Carndum, towards Angmar, as Glorfindel asked you to?
First thing, if we are leaving this cave that he's very proud of and now loves, it's the first time he's been underground in a long time.
Oh God.
He like knocks all of his pitons loose, collects them that he's like carved into the rock for this booby trap, collects all the string and rope. He was really excited about that booby trap, but maybe next time.
Maybe next time. You all spend the next day of your journey traveling closer and closer to Angmar. As you continue to travel, the snow gets a little bit heavier. It's not so much that you can't travel. The horses are fine. But it does approach the point of starting to get cold. Those cloaks are helping. You are now within an hour or so's ride of Carndum, the Witch King's fortress in Angmar, with no sign of the Dunedain.
On his little cart, just kind of glances over and is there something I need to be worried about? You guys have been on pins and needles this entire time.
Tanel takes an arrow out of her quiver and just notches it and goes, I think so.
Because if I ride one more step, this is the furthest from home I've ever been.
I'm adding another 6 HP to the final boss. Well
Sorry,
done.
it had to be done.
Excellent.
Oh, I know. I'm so proud of you, but at the same time.
Oh my god.
Right. You all spend the next hour and 2 and 3 searching the forest, the plains. There are patches, there are hills. You are finding no trace of the Dunedain.
Does Beery know that they have are they just, this is Beery's knowledge, obviously.
Mhm.
Are they nomadic or do they have a HQ kind of a thing?
I would say this wouldn't necessarily be a lore check. This would
Okay.
be what Glorfindel and the elves would have told you, and what you two elves would know of the Dunedain, because obviously you're very old. You are aware of their presence. They are a nomadic people with very few settlements in between. So finding their settlements would be incredibly difficult, and it would honestly be a little bit easier for the 3 of you to find one wandering rather than finding out where they live, because living so close to the north and Angmar and protecting the Shire and Bree and Fornost and all of these places, it would be very difficult for them to maintain some sort of settled establishment.
Interesting.
Halloweth, you've been marking the Lorien trees as you continue to go.
Yeah, I keep just doing a little leaf. Only something that only a Dunedain would be able to recognize.
All right. A question for the 3 of you. Are you moving closer to Angmar?
Yes, but can I do so
Yes.
stealthily? I think we should go into much more of a
Absolutely.
stealth-wise.
Go ahead. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Halloweth, Tinel, you two both
Mhm.
have horses, which
Yes.
makes traveling a little bit difficult. I will say, as close as you are to Angmar, you could theoretically leave the horses by the cave, knowing that, if you tie them up or let them graze somewhere, they'll be okay.
Mhm.
You would then need to make a number of stealth checks. Beery, you would need to do so as well, but if you want to hang back and give the elves their moment, now would be the time.
Definitely.
Okay.
He knows his
Yep.
weaknesses. He's a little bit aware.
Halloweth, Tinel, go ahead and give me stealth checks.
Come on, elves.
I rolled a 14 for my first one, beating my target number by 2.
I rolled a 14 as well.
Yes.
Beating my target number by 3.
You approach as close as you feel comfortable to get to Angmar, kind of like the Legolas Tauriel in The Hobbit when they're on by Gundabad, within 15 minutes walk of the front entrance.
Is Beery following them?
Beery is hanging back, so he doesn't know
Okay.
exactly what they are seeing, but the elves, the 2 of you peek above this hilltop, and you see Carn Dûm, the fortress of the Witch King, where during the Second Age stood his place of power as he sowed chaos throughout the land of Aranor, west of the Misty Mountains. And it is decrepit. What once was a immense, magnificent fortress now is in ruin. Rocks piled everywhere as though under siege. Growth, plants, just every which way. Nature has overtaken this land in a way that you didn't even know was possible. Trees sprouting out from rocks in the sides. It is empty, and neither of you see any movement inside any of the windows in the fortress.
Holy crap. Sorry, Beery's
Right.
not seeing any of this.
This is just Max being
Yeah.
off.
This is me just like, what?
Is it still snowy?
It is. It is.
There's something so lost to the ages. It still seems so foreboding.
It's certainly not the place you'd want to build a summer home.
No.
Okay. Can we get slightly closer? Without.
You can absolutely get closer. As you inch closer, the snow falling on top of you, your footfall starts to crunch a bit. but it's muffled in that way that only snowfall can do, where your senses are slightly more dulled. You see and you hear nothing but your own footfalls.
Would we be walking on top of the snow, like a bit like Legolas on Carreteras?
You would be, yes.
Okay, that's cool.
That's not to say you wouldn't make a noise, but you would be
No, of
walking on
course.
top of the snow. Yes.
That's so cool. Does anyone else try and do that? I don't know if that's just me. Every time I go out into the snow, I'm just like,
absolutely.
maybe this time. No.
Absolutely. It works when you get a little layer of ice on top. You can get across it a bit easier.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm an elf. No. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to roll another stealth check just to make sure that everything's...
Yeah, please give me another stealth roll.
Okay. 19.
19?
21.
21. Woo! The two of you approach to the point where you now see the front entrance of Angmar. You are within walking distance of this immense fortress. Beery, you're still hanging back, not interrupting any of the stealth that they are about to do, but as they get closer, you also get closer. Angmar stands before you, a towering fortress of ancient days, eerily quiet.
This is worrisome. Disturbing. Can I get a sense of if there's a dark presence around this place, or is it nothing? Is it empty?
Give me an awareness check.
Okay. 20.
20. That definitely beats your target number.
Yeah.
You feel a foreboding evil, but not one that speaks of imminent danger. One of the fact that you know the history of this place weighs heavily on you, and you know something could happen. Nothing around you feels as though this place has seen any life or movement in many, many years. There are no footprints in the snow. All is quiet.
Are there any sounds of animals at all? Like even the rustle of a squirrel?
You know what?
Across a tree?
This doesn't even need to be an awareness check. No, it is dead silence.
Okay. Can I enter Khan Doom?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Is anyone going with him?
Tanel is staying back, and as he steps forward, she genuinely goes, "What are you doing?"
I sense no life. I sense no dark presence, only the history of shadow. But we may find answers inside.
By this time, Beery and Gorge are snow plowing their way through the thicket and everything.
We see just like a helmet in the snow, just like
like a shark just carving
it.
The snow's not that deep, but I love the visual. I love the visual.
Look at this place. I mean, what? Oh, is it dangerous?
It feels that way, so maybe we should treat it that way. Thank you.
The three of you. Are the three of you going in?
I'm already in.
Let's go.
Tanel notches her bow and
You've got a weapon ready. Halloweth, give me a stealth check. Tanel, give me an awareness check. Beery, give me a scan check.
Let's do this. Shields out. We're ready to rock.
All right.
13.
17.
Be my target number.
Sorry. 17 beat my target number of 14.
It's a. Oh my gosh, I'm having a hard time mathing right now. Oh, that's a 20, and it's a Gandalf.
Instant success. The three of you notice on the right-hand side of this fortress, what looks to have been some sort of projectile from a trebuchet or a catapult has destroyed one of the sides of the walls and has completely breached it. You see this side entrance. You don't even need to go through the front door. You peer in and you see before you an empty castle. In front of you, in the center of this enormous, what looks to be some sort of grand ballroom. Because in ancient days, Angmar was ruled by humans, and the elves would know this, right? It was only after the Witch King took control of Angmar that he was able to turn it into the evil place it once was. That's another obscure Lord of the Rings fact. But
yeah, we did it. We got one this episode.
Yes.
in the center of what appears to be this grand ballroom foyer style entranceway are the bones of a monstrous creature. I need the elves to make a lore check for me.
This is amazing.
And I think I have advantage on that.
Yes,
Right?
you are
Yes,
favored. I
okay.
believe you are favored.
Yeah, favored. That's the word. Thank you.
24.
24,
Oh,
God.
Zach.
17.
17.
Yes.
Halloweth, Tinel, you look at these bones standing almost ceremoniously in this ballroom, and you realize that they are that of an ice drake. About 12 feet long, its wings boned, spread out underneath it, and its head, dead center, resting almost as if it curled up to die in the center of this magnificent nothingness.
My goodness.
Do you enter?
Yes.
Yes. Very quietly. As quietly as possible.
With the stealth checks that you rolled, you enter the grand ballroom. You feel the echo of your footfall still going. However, no movement, only the of your footfall. With each passing moment, you hear the echo. But with each moment, this feels like an empty, abandoned palace. Do you approach the dragon bones?
Yes.
Yes. But
But
Tanel's giving it a wide enough berth, basically, that she's kind of timid of it. She doesn't think it's gonna move, but it's like, this is odd. I don't like any of this.
Beery?
He's trailing back behind the elves, but the second he sees these bones, he's inching up a little bit faster than giving them birth. So he'd probably have to do stealth checks. Yeah, he's very eager to get close to this relic.
Beery, as you inch closer and closer to this skeleton, nothing happens. This dead ancient relic of ancient days does not move.
Master Dwarf, I don't suppose you could make use of...
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Did I
already
need to
there.
ask? Okay.
His voices are echoing through the. This place is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. Look at this place. What is this place?
As you start talking, you notice that your whispers are, oh, amazing, echoing through the halls.
I hate
I
this
already
place.
hear this going. You would like to get towards like the tippest of like the fingers of the drake, and just try and test the rigidity with his strong kind of dwarven hands to try and give it a, see if he can break it, see if it's hard.
The bones are strong. The connective tissue that once held it together has fallen off hundreds of years ago.
Oh, this thing's old, that old. Okay.
This thing is that old.
Yeah. obviously he's taken tools out to sever whatever connective tissue it remains, and especially big bones that he can actually get proper material from it. He doesn't have to worry about, because they're probably hollow, right?
Beery, make a craft check for me.
Bring it. Let's go. Oh yeah. $19.
Beery, you manage to gather over the course of about 5 minutes, just plucking them out, 4 dragon claws.
Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Okay.
4 dragon claws, 6 dragon teeth, 2 dragon scales,
Okay.
and the tail of this dragon, the bone of which you see is almost arrowhead shaped to the point where it looks like a giant arrow from a ballista could be crafted. It is roughly the size of your hand.
Oh my God.
As you are crafting all of this, I need the 3 of you to make awareness checks.
Yep. I was about to say, Tanel's just been like walking the edge as he's been doing this.
Beery is in an absolute fever. Just like the absolute possibilities as he kind of mumbles to himself in dwarven jargon. How many scales again?
I believe it was 2 scales, yes.
Exactly. That's right.
Yeah.
I hit my target number exactly.
You hit your target number, Tanel?
21 with a 6 on one of the die. On the D6s.
Oh, and a 6 on one of the D6s.
Yes.
Excellent. As Beery is doing this, the 2 of you hear something clatter onto stone above you. You also notice, with that 6, Tanel, you see steps leading up towards what seems to be, as tall as this place is, a second floor of this castle.
Did you hear that?
I did.
He's just going through bones, looking at it, gives it a toss, and keeps like burrowing into this corpse.
Well, Rivendell told us to report and scout out what was happening. No better chance. And he just takes an arrow like out of his quiver, knocks it, and then starts to go up the stairs in stealth.
Same.
Give me stealth checks.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
Look at this. Where'd you go?
16.
16. All right.
Sorry, had to count. 25. With,
25.
yeah, with another 6 on one of the D6s.
Beautiful.
I'm doing great.
Tori is forever erased from Beery's memory.
Beery, you can't even see these 2 elves. They're so in the dark right now. The 2 of you approach the steps where you heard the sound, and the clatter happens again. Do you make your way up the steps? You will do so silently based on what you rolled.
Yep.
Tanel is going to try to like turn around and motion for Beery. And motion and go.
Beery, I do an awareness or something.
I will say with those checks, give me an awareness check.
Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah, he is so like, how large are the scales, by the way, just so I know?
Oh, roughly, if the teeth are the size of your hand, is roughly like dinner plate sized for the 2 dragon scales that still exist.
Oh, wonderful. Oh boy, here we go. All I get is a D12 and I rolled an Eye of Sauron.
Oh God.
The awareness.
Oh God.
Nothing. No idea. No clue.
Beery,
He's got his like magnifying glass, like I wear down, and he's looking over everything.
Beery, your awareness being so poor of the situation, you look up and the bug eyes that you see Tanel gesturing over to you, you quick make your way over and thump, 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 trip and fall and tumble over yourself. As you fall, the three of you hear footsteps above you. Now, the elves rolled a good enough stealth check that the three of you can make it up the steps. No problem. Do you continue?
Yes.
Yeah, to find a hiding spot up there.
Very well. The three of you make your way up the steps. As you stand above on this second floor, you notice that most of it has crumbled. There is only one path, this major hallway that makes its way through most of the castle, but the rooms that would have connected it, the doors, are gone. It is a shell of what it once was. There is only one door up about 100 yards to the left.
Is Beery still down with the corpse, I'm assuming?
Would you like to come up?
Is there any chance he can gather more stuff?
If you want to wait, I guarantee we'll be coming down very shortly.
If you would like, so you've gathered.
He's strapping it all towards it onto Gorge and getting him all nice and comfy.
You've gathered about as much as you possibly could from this dragon that you know is useful. Most of the bones are brittle and have broken in front of you, but you've gathered what you can.
Yeah,
if you would like to.
Yeah, he comes up.
All right. Give me a stealth check.
Oh, great.
Lovely.
Oh God, here we go.
Oh no.
It's a 10, but his target number is higher.
All right.
Sure.
So you make your way up the steps, kind of this door on the about 100 yards ahead of you, elves, stands motionless, and the footsteps have stopped.
Can I do a sleight of hand to open the door, or whatever would the equivalent of a sleight of hand would be? I guess it's still stealth.
As you approach the door, you notice the door is opened.
Okay. That was just vowels. Yeah, I knock an arrow and I kind of peek in. I peeking duck.
Shield is up and ready.
Mhm.
Halloweth, as you peer in to this room, you look upon what appears to be a laboratory of some kind. There is a table set with many broken vials, and the vials that are intact have different colored liquids in them. As you peek over to the left, you notice that there is a man bound and gagged sitting next to a giant crystal. The man bound and gagged is going, and inside the crystal, that is this massive hunk, huge, nothing you have ever seen before, are two people, dark skinned, blue robed. What are you doing?
Hey, do you see anything?
I'm going to peer around, look around the room.
There is nothing else
Nothing
in the room.
I ungag the man. What's he saying?
You. He looks at you and goes, he is here. And behind you, Tinel and Beery,
Ah, no. Oh, bollocks.
stands a presence. His hood cloaked, his head obscured, red cloaked, enormous shoulder pauldrons, this red cloak staring at the two of you.
I am Mordor. You will die.
At the exact same time, Halloweth, this human, looks at you and goes, help me free the wizards. And that's where we're going to end episode 4 of the Unpredicted Party.
No, let's keep going.
Join us for the after show on Patreon, where I get to quiz these nerds on how the episode went. Thank you all so much for watching. We will see you all next time.
We found them.